Alright, just got back from vacation and gotta catch up to figure out what the hell is going on, what I miss. So just gonna try to get this done as quick as I can. Probably gonna take a while, but alright. So we still have this inefficiency on the oh wait, sorry. Let's start with Dow. So yeah, no inefficiencies, we just continue to stab higher every month. Weekly, we created some relative equal highs there on the highs. Is there any weekly inefficiencies? No. Looks like a barely made a new week opening gap. We still have this big liquidity level down here if we're going to come down. Daily, we did get a daily displacement there above these highs. Took out liquidity, made a new high there, so it makes sense. We just had down candles. Looks like there was a daily gap up from Monday. Do we have a gap daily? Let's just say. Oops. Man, I'm like rusty though, just even doing technical analysis. Save as. And dog. Alright. So yeah, new day opening gap there. It did respect that inefficiency to come back up, create a relative equal highs. A lot of old junk on here, but alright, daily, we still do have some daily bissies. There's a little one right there. Okay. And smooth those. Oh, and just to reference, we do have that SMT there, but it played out the relative strength. So I do think this could still be a sell moment. Because we do have SMT at the highs now, for sure. I also want to zoom in into this, see if this is actually a new high. The high was 917 there. 917 there, so exact relative equal highs. We'll see if those stay. I doubt it though. Oh man. All right. So yeah, there's the gap up. And then yeah, we've got just 4-hour inefficiencies trading through the new day opening gap today so far. Or the SIBI so far. And yeah, I think that's about it for just the higher. I'm just gonna do the higher time frame, and we can kind of figure out after we kind of get everything done. Oh yeah, we also had a contract roll. let's actually go back here. Yeah, so if we roll the contracts, it just has been selling off clearly, which is very different. And I think when we roll, you do want to use this chart. And then when we stop rolling, you know, like the week later, we can kind of go back to that chart. But yeah, I mean, that's much more clear. The high there. And then I know that SPY actually ended up making a new high, which is kind of confusing when they do something different. Oh, but SPY had relative strength there too. Did ES? It didn't. That's so crazy, dude. Look at that. That is just crazy. It played out perfectly. Interesting. So maybe these are highs and it's everything's there. Russell, even the Dow, or sorry, the Russell did. Let's see. Yeah. All right. I almost just want to jump onto these charts. Get this done. All right, ES already traded into that higher time frame inefficiency. NASDAQ doesn't have any. Russell doesn't have any. Russell's just completely, it's done everything it needs to do. Like, if you're a bull. There's no, like, clear long setups. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a short, though. It's just for clarity's sake. It's, yeah. So, weekly. Kind of respecting that gap there on NASDAQ. I think this is sort of a tail. Yeah, we got S&T there. But when we adjust that, okay, it's just SPY then. I can't remember. Oops. Just want to confirm this again. Yeah, it's just on SPY, which makes sense. Wow, okay, so maybe we are just freaking bearish now. I hate trading the contract rolls, but it seems like everything's lining up. And interestingly enough, we did get maybe a change in character SMT into the weeklies, where we had, oh, what? Oh, no, okay, okay, there we go, that makes more sense, okay. I'm just confirming where the highs are actually made, okay. We do have equal highs here into this daily SIBI. but on, oh, no, didn't take it. But here on Q's, it did take it. And then there's just a fucking clear SMT there. But yeah, on the daily, there's no downshifts, though. Man, it's just, if it's on there, then just need to run through these on the at least. Yeah, on the 4 hour, clearly some shifting on at least the 4 hour. Daily, nothing yet. Not enough price action yet. So yeah, but whoops. But on the 4 hour, definitely have some shifting. Definitely there on NASDAQ, the weakest one. It's showing up now on ES and on YM, but yeah, it's all there. Perfect. So let me make some notes before I forget all this, dude. Whoa. Alright, so YM SMT at the highs with NQES. SPY also took the high, though it could, because the SMT at the lows was relative strength versus Q's instead. Yes, which was weak. Okay. Weak as well. SMT weakness. RTY. SMT at So we're just making a case here for both sides. Just want to make sure I know what's going on. So yeah, nothing really on the daily besides, you know, the fair value gaps. So let's mark those out. We've got a very clear fair value gap here. Daily BISI. There was one here. That was already kind of a thing. So we already kind of used that here to propel price further. Got the change in character. SPY took the high. Boom. We come back down. It is just tricky with the roll though. I hate it when it does that. So yeah, I just want to mark out these inefficiencies. Nasdaq's really deep. Russell, oh, okay. Russell doesn't have anything besides until we get around here. Man, I feel so like out of tune with the charts. Like uncoordinated. Okay, so there is one here too. was a sell side imbalance there too. I don't know why these aren't marking out the new day opening gaps. And dog. What the? Okay. I was confused because I wasn't. Oh, okay. Yeah. What? What? We open here, come up, and then gap down. There's another weird gap there from 6 to 7. Just gonna note that. Just a weird occurrence there. All right. So down to the 4 hour. So yeah, we're trading into a nice level of liquidity. I'd even think about that. Just looking at highs and lows. Let's go back to the YM. Yeah, nothing really there. Just smooth lows down at the lows. Just structurally, ES. Yeah, very nice liquidity below this low. With all these smooth lows. So of course it's going to go there. Nasdaq had all these smooth lows. It's already taken them out, so it's not really relevant anymore, but it is hitting that. This was a nice little liquidity level here. Just clear some out, some of this stuff. Do I have relative equal highs here? Perfect. Relative equal highs there. So yeah, I'm really looking at this low as the thing in play. If we're bearish, I'll have to look at other stuff too, fundamental stuff. But other than that, I mean, it looks like something bearish is happening. We didn't even hit this liquidity, which we may still come up for, but then like rotate. We'll see. But Qs did hit it, so. But yeah, let's just look at the differences here. Here's where we had the change in character, but we didn't get it on Qs. Well, I mean, that's what the change in character was. And then you can see with or SPY and Russell, you know, like that doesn't make sense, you know. So makes sense that this would make a new high and not the Qs. But for Russell to make a new high, that's the real change in character, especially with the Qs. So I'm looking for lower pricing if it's bearish. We still got to figure it out. Oops, too high of a time frame. Levels of liquidity, there's still a massive level there. I would say below that high. Smooth lows all the way there. We kind of made all of this smooth, so if it's going to really sell, it's going to just, I think it'd puke all the way through that into this, at least this order block, if not even lower, maybe into this as an order block. We'll see, but that's far out. We'll see. All right, and let's see here, man. Yeah, everything else is going to be the smaller time frames. So yeah, we've got these bearish inefficiencies playing out. There's some things probably happening in here. You know, we get that SMT here. another gap down here. Thursday at 2. So another gap. I'll just say gap. Just getting too many things going on, man. So yeah, right here, everything kind of gapped though, huh? This also gapped. There's like multiple gaps there. Convergence of gaps into this price range. And then up at these highs, we also had one on ES. There's so many things here. I don't want to have too many. All right. So yeah, obvious pool of liquidity here. We're already tapping into it. We'll see what happens tomorrow once we create a new game plan. We got CPI tomorrow. We've got existing home sales of Friday. So we got some good possibilities the next 2 days to finish the week off. But yeah, I mean, that's very interesting. We'll have to look at things closer tomorrow. But I do know there were some differences with the other fundamental charts. Like RSP had a really nice clear sweep of the highs. QQQE did end up heading a bit higher than Q's, but just not much else to say there. Oh man, look at this. This is just so smooth. Didn't even look for anything on RSP. Yeah, really smooth lows there on RSP. So that could be a confluence rut. Yeah. It's made it jagged. Take a quick look at the yields. Consolidating at the lows. Yeah, we do have that nice pool of liquidity on. Oh crap, wrong button. On the Dow. Other than that, yeah, if we're bullish, it's just like looking for the next level, you know. We already have like some interesting dynamics here. But I don't want to make it too complicated. Alright. When it comes to these guys, looks like Euro has come up and taken all these smooth highs, created some relative equal highs. We'll see if that gets taken. Same thing with the pound. Seems like they would all want to do that. It's kind of confusing to look at the dollar like that. Yeah, dollars come down. Now I made equal highs there. It's come into this gap perfectly. The CE of that. Didn't look to see if there was some sort of SMT. had that trade idea marked down from forever ago. Yeah, I'm looking for the lows, I think, if we get some bearish flows. Yeah, it doesn't look too great. Crypto's coming down. Oh yeah, gold and silver. Gold manufacturing some really obvious highs here now. So that sweep will be nice. Silver's completely broken out. Coppers continue to come higher too. Which, I don't know, that's just so interesting. And you gotta keep in mind, like, relative equal highs, you know, we're at all-time highs, smooth highs on Russell, or sorry, ES, so it's not really, like, so bearish. I'm just, from the bearish outlook, if we're creating a bias, I need something else to help me with that. Usually it's commitment of traders, but right now it's so delayed, it's just tricky to use. All my yawns in the video. Alright, anything else to look at? Well, we could look at the, let me change this screen. Maybe the last several days of flows, since we've been gone. Oh, whoops, this is the wrong one. Perfect. Okay, SPY at the highs. I did see some bear flows leading up before the sell-off. Same thing with the tide a bit, but then we had that really bull day. But put selling was not there. But yeah, we did get some bear flows there into the high. We just continue to have bear flows in SPY. Continuation. Big bear flows here. Whoa, yeah, it's crazy. What the heck? Lots of kind of spreads or something there. Pretty bullish flows here, but we did make a move up. And then bear flows there. So. Yeah, just continuation flows looking so far. Nothing really clear yet. Qs, we had lots of bear flows, so today's move down makes a lot of sense. If anything, should be seeing it to go even lower. Dow also had some bear flows leading up into this up move, and then we had more there. Not a lot of volume there. Holy cow, crazy bear flow there, which led to that leg down. Had some bull flows here, rally the next day. Some low volume stuff. So yeah, nothing really there. Just, this move just, makes sense. And if anything, it may go a little lower based on like these massive days. So just today though, very bearish. Continually more bearish, and maybe just getting lower. Dow's not really there. Yeah, not a lot of volume. Cool. So yeah, I need to look and find something to help support this. Other than that, I mean, to me, it could literally, like, we are selling off, and there is that changing character, so that's why it's kind of like we're in a bull market, but it's like, we got some changing characters, but I just want to see more stuff just to get more clear on it. VIX clearly swept a massive pool of liquidity, and we got a big spike up and some displacement there. VIX futures similar, unless we roll this. Wow. I would say, well, it's futures, so. Yeah, it came back into that gap, then now it's gapped up. So yeah, that's interesting, and we've got obvious pools of liquidity on both with these smooth highs there. So we'll see what else is going on. And gold and silver pumping, maybe that's a bad sign. Yeah, but that's basically it for charts that I would look at, besides just data. So yeah, I think there's a bear case there for me to definitely keep an eye on, see if we can create some sort of setups for tomorrow. But yeah, if we're gonna retrace back up here, I just got a nuance like what really happened into these highs on the smaller time frames. But I think that's good enough for now just to kind of catch back up and then come into it tomorrow a little bit clearer as I kind of research more things for bullish bearish ideas fundamentally to help me build more of a conviction on a direction, at least high time frame. So yeah, because Russell has taken out all the obvious liquidity. We've got a changing character. We've got the delivery of this sell-off still being in play, and the delivery of all the strengths played out and literally displaced to the downside. So I think it's definitely a short on Qs until we take out a low. And yeah. And when it came and swept this liquidity, it barely tapped it. So I would think it would even, make sense to go lower. So if I'm going to look short, oops, I wasn't even on the screen, dude. Crap. Oh well. Yeah, I think it's a short. At least technically it makes sense, but it's not like the highest probability for me yet. We'll see. So yeah,